We are not limited to one type of experience. We have many experiences, and we want to be able to show that to the world so that other people of color can see themselves and feel that like they resonate and feel empowered to share their own voices and stories as well. It became Boo Boo Kitty. This is what happened.
Oh my God, Melanin Goddess that's before me. Hello. On this episode of Another Act, I'm joined by Grace Byers, who is currently starring in Amazon's Harlem, a fresh look at Black female friendships. We also talk about her powerful work as a children's book author. All right, so we first obviously met you on Empire, and what an introduction. But when your time on that show came to an end, what types of work were you immediately looking for?
When I graduated school, I remember thinking, I moved from Irvine to New York to be a part of a smorgasbord of different types of roles and genres. And so I did not realize that at the end of Empire, because it was such a juggernaut, and it was also an introduction for me into television and film, I did not realize how much people would try to only pigeonhole me in that sense, right? So like, this is what she does, this is what she does well. And so it was really important for me to try to break away just from that idea of this is the only kind of role that I can play. And so that's kind of what I was looking for. How else can I spread my artistic wings?
Yeah, I was going to ask, was Anika hard to shed for you, both as an actor, but also, as far as others seeing her when they see you? What was that like for you? And what was the moment where you realized that people can see past her?
So I have a running joke, right? Where before I got the role, I had my hair very similar to how Anika's iconic hairstyle was. And so that was my hairstyle. And so using that hairstyle for a character and for it to be so iconic, and then trying to walk around like going to Target with this hairstyle, it's like it then no longer became mine. It became Boo Boo Kitty. And so it was really difficult for me to try to separate myself from her when I was in public. And I think that just me looking almost identical to how I looked to that character did not help. And so to answer both sides of your question, I started to have to go, when people would see me, they'd be like, oh my God, Boo Boo Kitty, Anika, blah, blah, blah. And then I would go, hi, my name is Grace. What's your name? Yeah. And I would see, and it wasn't facetious. It was just like, no, like you're not meeting Boo Boo Kitty, you're meeting the actor behind Boo Boo Kitty. And so it was just like really kind and really warm. And I would literally see the shift in their eyes, them go from, I think I know this girl to, I actually don't know this person at all. This person is a stranger to me. Hi, my name is, and then we would meet, and then it would be a really nice exchange. And so I think when I started to make the conscious effort to show that there's a separation between the art and the actor, I think that's when people started to pick up on that.
And people are going to pick up on another character because now you are part of this new really great series that we've been waiting for a little bit, Harlem. Tell me about how that falls in line with the types of roles that you're looking for right now.
What I love so much about Harlem is that it really is just a very direct juxtaposition to what I played on Empire. So Empire was network, this is streaming, that was an hour, this is half hour, that was a drama, this is a comedy. And I also love just the physical differences between the two characters. And I think that was really important for both me and Tracy when we were trying to develop Quinn's look. So she's long and blonde and, and all of that. And so not naturally blonde, but rocking the blonde hairstyle.
You look so good. Girl, you messed up.
Oh, that's right. You two know each other.
Only from the entire year that we dated, Mom. I met a guy who really gets me.
You deserve a good guy. Why is everything always about men? What about our dreams? What about what we want? I think maybe you should go.
You sure?
You and Tracy Oliver developed the look of this character together. Considering what you just told me earlier in our conversation, it seems like that probably was really important for you because you learned a lesson maybe with your previous series. Tell me a little bit more about that because that feels very empowering, I think, for you, right?
Absolutely. And thank you for picking up on that. And I feel like Tracy, not just with the look, but also with how she wanted to craft just the background and the heritage of Quinn. Like we really leaned on, initially, she didn't write Quinn to be a Caribbean American person. And so just being able for her to, once she casted me and then go, there's a big Caribbean community in New York and in Harlem. I want to lean on that, right? And so like we did that with just the background of an Anika. Girl, see, this is what happens. This is what happens. We ain't trying to talk, come on now, boo, 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 of Quinn. So just doing that with Quinn and also just not only her heritage and her ancestry, but also her look. And so we actually said that. We said, Tracy was like, I really feel like a lot of your fan base knows you as Anika and will want to see or be expecting to see you in like a darker hair and like, the shorter style. So I want to play around with maybe a longer hairstyle and maybe if we played with a different color. And she actually got the idea from one of the looks I had done for press previously for The Gifted, where really gifted hairstylist Kaya Wright had put me in some kind of like a blonde situation. And she loved it. And she was like, I would love to see more of that. So just all across the board, I think that Tracy was really open and collaborative. And like you said, it created space for empowerment.
Well, tell us about Quinn, since we do know that she's going to be a far cry from this other character that you popularized. But tell us a little bit about Quinn.
She's this optimistic, hopeless, romantic fashion designer that just really is in search of her own identity. And in that search is just really desiring deep and pure love. And that comes up in all sorts of relationships for her, whether it's her relationship with her mother, her relationship with her friends, her romantic relationships. And, just her constant and incessant pursuit of true love is what makes me admire her. It's what makes her brave, even in her moments of being fearful.
Scout Shayla.
Shayla? That sounds like a stripper name. Like a daytime stripper name.
Like good morning, gentlemen. Enjoy your waffles as you welcome to the pole.
Shayla.
Here in Harlem, being a woman in total control of her life and love.
I saw you the other night.
Really? That's weird.
It's not always easy.
Guys, I'm seriously fine.
Girl, we don't believe you, right?
Rainbow sprinkles in your hair.
Black female actors don't really often get a lot of scripts, sent their way. I mean, there was a year where, when we're talking about film in particular, where there was not one role, for a Black woman that could be, an FYC consideration. But now it feels so nice to be able to pluck across networks and see all of these different representations of who Black women are and who Black women can be. And again, I haven't seen that in my entire, years of TV watching. Normally, there can only be one. But now there can be many, right. And I like that. So what types of projects do you say yes to at this point in your career? What are you looking for?
I am more interested in playing characters that I have not had the opportunity to play. Now that I've gotten the opportunity to play a few characters in a few genres, like I can't officially say anything yet, but I just shot a film where it was a horror. There's a horror element. And that's new for me, you know what I mean? And so I like to be able to, just as an artist, I've never wanted to limit myself in how I express myself through my mediums. And so I feel like anything that will cause me to, I want to do things that scare me. I want to do things that challenge me.
I love hearing that. Is there a difference for you between what you're looking for with a TV character versus what you're looking for in film? And I ask that obviously because with television, and you know this far better than I do, you spend so much more time living with that particular character, so much that it can spill over into your real life. So is there a difference with what those two, ways of watching content look like for you?
Most of the times with film roles, you get to create an arc that you see. So you have the script in front of you and you have the beginning, middle, and end. You get to see how you want to create that trajectory. And so I really enjoy that. And so I think I get the big picture with a film, and that can give me a better idea as to whether or not I want to play the role. with TV, you don't get that. And you kind of pinpointed that a little bit too. And what I would love with any television role is, can I see this part growing? Like, is this just a part where where you stick me in, and then I'm just like comedic relief, or I'm just the person that plays an agenda rather than someone who has a life story? And so I think when I can see space and room for someone who is able to go somewhere and to grow and to shift and to change, I think that really affects how I look at my TV roles.
Let's loosen up and have some fun, hoes.
She on one. I ain't been a host since 2005.
Every woman has value.
And you pay it in cash or paper.
Whoa, 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 player, don't get comfortable.
No one sits until they've had it.
You have your own place, right?
Of course.
Your finances are in order?
100%.
You let her be the boss in the bedroom?
Each and every time.
Just kidding. You can say it.
Before I let you go, we have to talk about your work off of the screen. You have 2 children's books and one that certainly sheds light on your upbringing, your coda. I would love to hear more about that.
Yes, I'm a CODA, child of deaf adults, and both of my parents are deaf, and I was raised by my mother. And growing up, I really felt like there wasn't a place for me. There wasn't a place that I fit in, or anywhere that I could subscribe to, that if I did subscribe to it, that I would be embraced with open arms and say, yeah, you're fully one of us. And so I never really felt that growing up. And so I felt like I was not enough of one thing or another. And I find that that's sort of the general reverberation when I speak to multiple people who have different types of, or have crossed different types of intersectionalities in their lives. And so, just thinking about a children's book and thinking about the things that come from that when you don't feel like you're enough, and just some of the things that occur, like bullying or being left out or ostracized or being rejected, and then that even further pushing that narrative into your mind. And so I feel like, it was really important for me to, when writing those children's books, to say, what is the one message that not only I wish that I had as a child, but that I would want other children to have in their minds. And it's just the enoughness, that you are more than enough. And once you know who you are and you know that you're enough, then there's nothing you can't do, hence the I believe I can.
Oh man, that's amazing. So of course, because you're creative, naturally, does that mean that you would like to bring these books to life at some point? Is that part of maybe the thought process for you?
That's something, it's funny you say that, because I've been flirting with the idea of that for some time now. And so I do think that there could be a world where they live in a different way or forum, maybe animation or something that comes to life in television form. So I've been playing around with that, writing some things, in discussion with my team on that. But I think that could be pretty powerful.
I love that. Grace,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking time out to chat with me today. This was fantastic.
Yes, no, thank you for having me.